You ever see that movie Powder about the albino kid who becomes lightning? That is a real movie, and that's a real plot, by the way, what I just described. With the way the camera's got me washed out, that's exactly how I look right now, except I still got my ginger beard. I'm peppermint powder. But believe it or not, old movie trivia is not why you tuned into this channel today, or at least not why I woke up today. Maybe it'll be a new thing. Hi, I'm Josh the RV Nerd. This is Spacious RV. I'm running out of breath, and that is the 23pack15. There we go. So you might look at this and go, a slide in the garage? How is that supposed to work when I'm loading my stuff? Well, stay tuned. Give me a little bit here. I'll close the slide and I'll show you around. But in the meantime, this is kind of a cool thing because it gives us a big 15-foot long garage where some really large stuff can actually fit in here. But because it is what I'm going to call a true toy hauler, it is extra wide, it is extra tall. That means that you can still get big stuff in there and afford a little bit of that kitchen slide to really open up the space once you reach your destination. So you're not doing that sideways travel tray with two steps skipping around one another. Now, I try to always show the good with the bad, and one of the things here is these model numbers are getting out of control. They call the model number a 23pack15, right? This thing is 33 foot and change, tongue to, well, not bumper, but rear wall, as it were. So that's why I say, don't look at those model numbers and think that's the length of the RV. That's the kind of straight shooting facts you're gonna get from us here. This is a fun model though, because I think this one, more than almost any other open garage toy hauler, can really become just a giant open living party space when you get there. Like if you're an entertainer, or you could use this as an alternative bunkhouse with the Happi-Jac power bed lift. This could sleep 2, this could sleep 6, and it could sleep more than just kids. That could be 6 adults. So, I'm not trying to offer commentary on anything here, but if you are a practitioner of the pineapple crowd of camping, I would recommend closing the gate, but maybe this has the space you're looking for. Didn't expect it to take that turn. Oh boy, I'm gonna get a call from HR on that one. And the funny thing about toy haulers, especially travel trailers, they're notorious for just having bad living room arrangements. But with that patio package and those floating chairs, which if I remember it, they might be optional on this. It's been a little while. They've been optional, they've been not optional, they flip-flopped around. I guess I'll have to double check on that. Maybe I'll leave a little note on the screen if I remember to check before I publish this. But they allow you to do something kind of like, you can create a rear living room if you want. And obviously, as you see here, you've got the Happi-Jac power bed lift with the double drop sofas below. Now, I've intentionally left that up to show you that, like, that's basically a queen bed up there. I think we all kind of understand what a mattress looks like. But you can drop the bottom and the top separately. So if you just want to create a quick overnight sleeping space like this, well, you can do that very easily. Or you can do a double-decker situation. And again, because of the size of these, they can fit adults, not just kids. Toy haulers are the most flexible thing in terms of feature and function out there. Case in point, we took just a garage, converted it into a rear living room, and now included a full 4-person dining arrangement. Good place to play some cards, you know, chew the fat, shoot the breeze, as it were. Or you just kick it into open lounge mode. You can maybe slide that table between the 2 chairs back there for a little bit of the old razzle-dazzle. But this right here is what's so cool about toy haulers. Your living space expands when you get to your destination. And just being able to come out here, like days like this, where it's maybe like just jacket weather, or if it's just sunshine and shorts weather, this is awesome. But you know what I thought about as I was sitting back here, created my own little personal patio space where you're up off the ground and whatnot? I thought it'd be really cool if you set like a projector here, and then against the screen wall, check this out. Imagine you hung like an extra screen down below that, and then you had a projector going against this thing. Like you could tie and secure it down a little bit so it's not flapping in the breeze, but how cool, how fun would that be? Has anyone ever done that? I feel like projector-based screens, especially like since so many phones can very easily hook up to those things with a little connector, and some phones don't even need a special connector, I feel like that'd be very cool. Now, this is what I'm going to call a true toy hauler, not like a Grey Wolf crossover. So everything is wider, everything is taller, everything is bigger, and with that kitchen slide, you really drive home the point because this thing opens way, way up. And the extra height in here is where this one is going to gain a lot of side-by-side friendliness that maybe some of the Grey Wolf type stuff might not. Now, this RV that we're looking at here today is located at our Salt Lake City, Utah store. And out here out west, there's a lot of boondockers. So gas-electric two-way refrigerators, as are optional in these, are extremely popular in these RVs. Normally, the standard build on this is a 12-volt DC compressor fridge. What's kind of cool, though, is no matter what, whether you get the two-way fridge, whether you get the 12-volt fridge, the RV always has a little battery-tending solar package to go with it, because frankly, there's never a time that a little solar doesn't help. But once again, just to additionally highlight and illustrate the flexibility function, what if it's a crappy weather day and you're stuck inside? You can still convert that into a living room arrangement, and we're going to see this in road mode with the slide closed in just a second. Those Happi-Jac power lift things, they can flip up and down, they can flip left and right. You can give yourself maximum load width or height, whatever you need. That's what's kind of cool about those. That cutting board backsplash, I think, makes a perfect side splash. Perfect spot for a wastebasket. Nailed it. That is awesome right there. And the one thing travel trailer toy haulers are really not known for, I've never once in history had somebody contact us and say, I'd like to trade my travel trailer toy hauler because it has too much countertop prep space. I've never heard it. I don't suspect I ever will, but this one actually gives us some pretty decent prep area, and it's all sealed edge press membrane countertops. Now, you may have kind of got some of the feels the way I set the rear area up on this. This could also be a very functional kind of mobile office arrangement. It just really depends on what you're looking for. Now, in terms of loading, one of the things from the rear tailgate all the way up to that cabinet right there, you have 15 feet of loading space. But that is when the slide is open. How much? Well, I mean, you always have 15 foot of loading length. How much width do you have when the slide's closed? That's what I should be asking. Well, the answer to that is more than I think you would have estimated. With the slide closed, you still maintain 70 inches of width from wall to the base of that slide. So a lot of people ask all the time, well, can my such and such or so-and-so toy fit into this thing? What you need to do is you need to find out what the actual dimensions on that are and then call our team members and they can walk out and again hand verify, because that 70 inches, that's according to the manufacturer. I have really learned sometimes it's always best to trust but verify, as I believe Reagan said, but that was kind of a little before my time, I suppose. Now, if you appreciate seeing little road mode segments like that, getting the extra information, if you haven't done so, click that like button. It doesn't cost you nothing, and it does help spread the message. And if you're new with us, hit that subscribe button. Obviously, we take a lot of time to show you around these things, even showing you the kind of space you have available when you're sitting on the toilet. And since this is a taller hauler, that means headroom is absolutely a non-issue in this. I can barely touch the ceiling even if I ET phone home stretch. Now, behind the door, there is basically a second copy of that medicine cabinet, so if you wanted to roll some towels up burrito style, that might work there. This is also, interestingly, a dual entry bed and bath, so if you do use it like a bunkhouse, anybody can get to the bathroom without ever actually seeing another person. And frankly, that's kind of what I do in public. I try to get in and out of the bathroom without actually making eye contact with another person. The bedroom here is one of those areas where there's a lot of serious potential and there's a lot of good. Because it is, again, a taller hauler, that means that that super tall full overhead cabinet is not a Henry headbanger. And because this is 102-inch wide body, 8.5 foot wide, they had room to put a wider 70-inch bed instead of a standard 60-inch width and still maintain room to walk around it. There's household and USB outlets on both sides of the bed. This is still a weird 74-inch length, though, so it's a camp king, if you will. But that being said, there's obviously a lot of room here. If you want to go with a bigger, longer bed, that is not very hard to do. So the question is, is that queen capable? And I actually think it might be. Let me check. And yeah, no, that is most definitely queen capable, and here's why. First of all, look at the width of the base in comparison to the width of the plywood under. That's interesting. They ran the plywood all the way under the entire bed. Wow, I don't usually see manufacturers take the extra time to do that. Okay, but anyway, so if you wanted to, all you'd have to do is trim that piece of plywood that's flipped up right there. You could slap a queen bed in if you wanted to. That'd be easy. No real construction required to do it. Now, apparently we got the whole dog pound represented here. The one that we're looking at today kind of wedged in between another wolf and a fox. But I have a question. What does the fox say? Anyway, regardless. What we're looking at here today, the 23, we're not worried about the other stuff. We are a little wedged in, but I think I'm going to be able to get us enough to get a good idea. This is a max width RV. This is 102-inch wide body, which is the biggest something can be before you got to put wide load placards on, which means maximum loading space, maximum cargo space, or just maximum, patio, hangout, kind of interior living space. It all kind of goes together. Extra thick nose skin on the front, and something that kind of shocks people. When you see fiberglass skin like this, you almost always just assume aluminum skeleton, but that is actually not the case. This is still a stick-built camper, like that blue, silver, and charcoal gray wolf that you see behind it. This is just the toy hauler cousin of the Cherokee family. The general construction is extremely similar, but with a couple things adapted to a toy hauler platform. Now, one of those here is that you see, under that king-ish bed, we've got a big chunk. I don't want to call it a pass-through, though, but it's a big chunk of cargo space and serious bonus points then for putting some cargo tie-downs in there. You may also notice, I mentioned earlier, it comes with a floating picnic table. That is where you can store it in transit. They actually, include a little buckle strap space. And you see this black wedge? That is there. You can hook it on the end of those, ironing board legs, so that table can sit in the dovetail section of the garage and still be flat, which is cool. But you might notice we're looking at a silver wall over there that Superman's X-ray vision might have a hard time seeing through. What is that about? Well, that is where you're going to find either the Gen Prep or the full-on optional 4500 inverter generator over there. Now, you notice that they're using a different variety. They're using that NPS generator, which is made with Yamaha plans, but actually fulfilled by the NPS people. What's funny? Yamaha really doesn't like telling people that, but it still ships with a Yamaha owner's manual. So, kind of hard to deny, especially when it's Yamaha blue, you know what I mean? But that's a big-time optional piece of equipment right there. It's something, it's kind of hard to find sometimes in the Midwest on travel trailers, an onboard generator. And you see it a lot more out here out west. It's one of the reasons I really like getting to travel around now. But some cool things on this. Again, it's an inverter generator, clean powered all the outlets. You can run the air. This also has a remote control key fob, and let's just say you totally drain your batteries. It has a pull start, so you can't be stranded unless you just flat out run out of gas. That has a 30-pound fuel tank that is actually shared with the fuel station. Now, we talked about the construction of this, but let's look at that skin. So this is actually like a hybrid style construction, like a Black Label Cherokee camper, where you've got that high gloss gel coat fiberglass on top of dual layered offset Luan panels, which basically means there's effectively like a 3/8 sheet of plywood below this thing. That makes it extremely impact resistant to things like hail. Underbelly all enclosed here, and you can see this is also outfitted with the optional power stabilizers. Ooh, my brain just totally train of thought jumped off the tracks right there. But what's nice about what we're looking at here, this is basically the most loaded up you can get this. This is, I think, every factory option that's even available on this, including the expanded juice pack solar option, which I can't really get up there to show you because Cherokee made what I respectfully feel is a poor decision, in that not only are they not offering ladders, they actually removed the ladder prep from their RVs. I don't love that. It's not my favorite thing to share. It certainly doesn't help me sell this RV at one of our dealerships here at Bish's RV. But that is the kind of straight shooting facts that I want to give you. And I feel confidently that if that means this isn't the right RV for you, we shot you straight, you'll give us a shot on something else, right? At least that's how I'd like to think about it. But anyway, the expanded juice pack is an additional 100-watt solar panel on top of the original factory 50-watt. So those are going to give you some pretty healthy battery tending. And remember, when you've got it equipped with like the two-way gas electric fridge like this, you don't need a whole lot of 12-volt and solar coming in to keep the batteries up and running. Got that LCI Insight backup camera, and once again, this thing I just think has like one of the with those floating swivel rocking recliner chairs, has such a cool sort of exterior feel to it, doesn't it? And pardon me as I kind of ninja my way around here between the labyrinth of trailers that we have. Little slightly different version of the ramp patio system I've seen on this. Nothing too weird to write home about. This RV also has dual drunken uncle leash latches. So maybe you've got an Uncle Gary that he likes to get a little rowdy, so you need to tie him up twice and double anchor that sucker down. Well, there you go. Fueling station and gen prep, again, standard on the Wolfpack Platinum series. The 30 gallon fuel cell shared between those two things. Power stabilizer jacks, once again, you see them back here. I like how they're close to the tires though. When those are down, that'll give you some good campsite stability. The stable steps with some long legs on them for some very functional adjustable campsite arrangements. And I mean, the awning could be a little bit bigger, but remember, this is a pretty big rig. That's not a terribly small awning. It just feels a little bit like there's a missed opportunity there. No? Again, I'm willing to shoot you straight, tell you what I like, tell you maybe, what ain't my favorite, but doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's wrong. That's just how I see it. So this is very popular, and we have them at many of our locations. The Cherokee RVs overall are extremely popular. If you want to see where we have one of these and how it's equipped, like did we add the chairs, the power jacks, the generator. The generator is like an instant, probably around $4,000 plus or minus, whether it's included or not on one of these. So when you get online and like you're on those like RV Trader type websites, and like you see this one's this much money and this one's $4,000 less, find out why, because there's more to it than just the price tag, and a lot of people don't take the time to investigate that. That's the information I want to give you so you can be an armed and educated consumer. Get your second camper the first time around. Until next time, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like our video. Take care, stay safe, have fun. Happy camping, everyone. I'm gonna go check in with HR now.